can burn. I'm keeping my lamp full, waiting on the bridegroom. Cause when the kingdom comes, say I wanna be ready.
Welcome back to Lamp Oil Stock, a channel where we look at different issues from an Israelite point of view. And we're going to continue on with our ongoing series, the Red Letter Bible series, where we take a look at the words of Christ and try and find them in the Old Testament and do a little explanation with them. Today we're going to pick up with the next chapter, the next part of the series. This is Matthew 6, 22 and 23.
Right, so we're going to try to do this really quick.
Okay.
Matthew 6, verse 22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light.
23.
But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?
Okay. So, you want to go first? You want me to?
Are we done? We just read it.
No, yes, we read it, but remember in the intro, we try and equate it to things in the Old Testament.
Okay, well, fine. If we go to Proverbs 4,
Okay.
it says, verse 18, but the path of the just is as the shining light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day.
Okay.
19, the way of the wicked is as darkness, they know not at what they stumble. 20, my son, attend to my words, incline thy ear unto my sayings. 21, let them not depart from thine eyes, keep them in the midst of thine heart. 22, for they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. 23, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Okay, so if we look at verse 22.
Okay, so we're talking about Matthew 6 and 22.
And 22, it
Right.
talks about how you should keep your eyes singular
Uh-huh.
on the light of the body is the eye.
Yep.
If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. So it's just saying that you should, if what you're going after is the Most High, then everything you do and say and think about should be focused on the Most High. You shouldn't have all of these other distractions out there, because then your eye isn't single.
Okay.
Okay, so if we look at Jeremiah 4
Okay.
and 14, it says, O Jerusalem, wash thine heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee? Well, this is saying to get rid of all of that wickedness that you have going on with yourself. You know, we talk about celebrities. We talk about just styles. We talk about people. You know, there's this big trend of Karens. Who the hell cares about if someone is upset and doing something? Does it affect us? Yeah, it does. But it takes our eye off the focus of the Most High when we're looking at all of this other stuff. So our eye isn't being single, it's being distributed amongst all of this other stuff.
Okay. I got you. I see what you're saying. Let me take a different tact with this particular one.
Okay.
Through many of these verses, it seems to me that Christ is doing a duality, doing a couple of things at the same time.
Right.
He uses, I guess the way to say it is, he alludes to multiple verses. All right, and I think the ones you're looking at, I think those are great. I'm not knocking those at all. But I got another thought here for just a second. If you'll notice in this particular verse in 22, the light of the body is the eye, and therefore thy eye be single. Right, and that just kind of, when I read that, I go, and what we do is we go back and kind of research all the words and see, where we can find them. And it just seemed very odd to me that he would pick the word single. Now, I know what you're saying, that your line of sight should be singularly on the Most High. I think that's a great illusion. I'm with you on that one. How about this one, just for a second? If we go over and we look at Genesis, the very, very beginning of the Bible,
Okay.
Genesis 3, 4, and 5. Would you mind reading Genesis 5 for me?
You said 4 and 5.
Just 4. I'm sorry, just 5. Genesis 3, verse 5.
Fine. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Okay, so if we think about it just for a second, prior to the eating of the apple, their eyes were single. They only knew good. And then after eating the fruit, we now see two things, good and evil.
Right.
And I'm just wondering, now, like I said, this is a bit of a stretch. I'm just wondering if he's making an allusion to this event, because when you are looking out into the world, just like you said a moment ago, you should focus on good. And if you'll notice, he says that the eye be single, much like it was prior to the eating of the apple, only seeing good. And then after that, you see good and evil. After eating the apple, people saw good and evil. And if you'll look back at the verse, he uses single in the first line, and then, but if thy eye be evil in the second, kind of like an allusion to that first verse. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. You are trying to updo me. So,
I'm not.
So we're going to do 23, and you go first, and then I come after you. All right.
No.
I'm done talking to you. Now, if we go to verse 23.
What verse? Wait. Oh. No, I was thinking of I was doing both of them, 22 and 23. I wasn't trying to be.
Yeah, whatever.
It's just what came to my mind when I read it. Okay. Go ahead. What do you got?
No, so you're trying to do that again.
Oh, okay.
You start.
Okay, so, but if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. And if therefore the light that is in the darkness, how great is that darkness?
Right.
That's
right.
23. Okay, so if we take a look at Deuteronomy, because I'm going first, right?
Right.
Okay, so if you'll take a look at Deuteronomy 28. Now, Deuteronomy 28 is, this is Moses warning the children of Israel that if they do not follow the commandments, all of these curses will fall upon them. Okay? Now, this is not the part where it's talking about each line, each tribe. Okay? This is just Israel overall.
Okay.
All right. So, to kind of set the stage, he says earlier in 28 that he will bring the nations against Israel. They'll eat up all their food. They'll eat up all their corn, and they'll be besieged at the gates. Okay.
Okay.
And then it goes into these verses. So if you could you read Deuteronomy 28, 53, and 54.
Okay, verse 53 says, And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. 54. So that the man that is tender among you, and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Go ahead and read 55. I'm sorry.
55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates.
Okay, so let's think about this, what's going on here. If in this particular group of verses, we as Israelites have turned away, we're being warned, if we turn away from the Most High, then He will send other nations against us, distressing us, taking all of our things, including our food, away, to where we get to a point to, according to these verses, we'll literally be eating our own children. And we are so evil at this point that we're not even willing to share that. We'll eat it ourselves. This is a horrible state of affairs. But in this particular verses, he uses the Most High, Moses, uses this illusion of your eye being turned toward evil and showing how evil you will become from it.
Right.
This is turning away from the Most High. So I'm wondering also again, is Christ making another allusion to this particular verse? Because of how evil, if your eye turns toward evil, how evil you can become.
How evil it goes.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's my thought.
All right. I heard you. Now moving on to my thoughts.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay, so if we go to Isaiah 5, and we look at verse 20, it says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." So this is saying that people are going to start saying that things that are good or righteous are bad, and things that are bad are good.
Right.
Right? And he says, woe to them. If we go to Proverbs 26, it says, if we look at verse 10, it says, "The great God that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors." Verse 11, "As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly."
That's gross.
Verse 12, "Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him." So we look at this making bad good and good bad and the darkness, right? Now I read this because it's talking to me. When I look at this, I say, okay, so you're an Israelite, right? You've come out the world. You started trying to live your life a righteous way by following the laws, and then the world gets tough. It starts getting hard, and you start trying to incorporate ways that you can be an Israelite and yet still be in the world.
I see what you're saying. I see what you mean.
And, I look at a lot of these people that I've been listening to over the years as I've been studying and growing in my faith, and I hear a lot of them who, in the beginning, they were saying one thing, but now it seems like all of these different groups and people have just splintered off in all different types of directions, because in their own ways they're trying to mingle the good and the perverse so that they can continue to live the lifestyle that they've come accustomed to in this world. So like a dog returning to his vomit.
I got you. Or a light in the darkness, how dark might it be?
Right.
Quote from that previous.
And so,
I got you.
And so I look at these and I feel like, that's what I'm seeing, because a lot of people seem to be getting, now they're Israelites. Once they start mingling that light and that dark together, they become more evil than they were to begin with, because you're leading other people. It's not just yourself anymore, but the people that are listening to you, you're leading them into that darkness with you as well. So you're, 100 times worse now than you were when you first began. And so I think that this is a warning for people to pay attention to what they're doing and what they're saying and what types of things they're going off into. It's saying, let your light be single. Yeah, you're going to be called weird. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with losing friends, losing things. You're not going to have the types of things that you desire, or that you wanted. But the best thing is to keep your eye on the Most High, because if you don't, do that. If you don't get rid of all that vain shit and just concentrate on the Most High, you are going to fall so far away, you know, and you are going to be punished severely.
Okay.
Of course, the ultimate punishment, which is something none of us want. But it's telling you to ignore all of that stuff that's out there and keep your eye on Him, and that's the only way that you're going to make it, that you're going to be able to endure.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, thank you all so very much for taking a little bit of time out to read through the Bible with us. Hopefully, you've gotten an opportunity to crack open your Bible and read a few things. That is our total goal. Thank you guys so very much for the comments and the views, the likes,
The subscriptions.
all those type of things. Thank you all so very much. If you don't mind, please leave us one of those with this video as well. And do you have anything else?
Bam Yasharallah.
Bye.
Me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai.